success. Grind hard, don't you ever quit. It's a must, you see the progress. Got a ball till you get it hit. They can never do what I could do, cause they
straight into the action, guys. We kick off this pistol round. PERA on the CT side. Team Sampi starting on the T side.
And this is fast. Immediate smoke to go deep in towards middle. DGL first to be tested. Flashbang. Actually, not good enough. And bullets, not really the answer either. ZEDKO finds the opener. Aaron drops a defensive smoke, but Sampi are just running through it. 3 players here to crossfire, though, and immediately, PERA respond.
They're bailing. They've got the information that there's so many players here. One was spotted in canals as well, so they're thinking, yeah, B's open. Tag falling, though, does give a bit of space, and Poya into a cave, the only defender on B bomb site, and has found a critical kill. The Alive does get 1 back, so that's going to allow the bomb to likely be planted here. And it is going to be full CT, so they can scale on through. 3v2 in the retake, and they're fast here. Coming up around Obelisk. Fino trying to find the fight around the edge. That Glock not quite connecting, and the USP does. All now onto the Alive, and it's being defused just around the corner. Not quite planted for him. The full 10-second stick, and he's not going to get any chance to deny it.
Tell you what, though, fair play to Sampi, because they made a lot out of that when it feels like they really shouldn't have. 3 players that are on A. They've even found the opening kill onto DGL. They've run through and disrespected the utility that Aaron's put down, and yet they still reroute. Immediately, Mivram calling out of the Alive. He goes, okay, well, we know there's a lot of players here. Rugs is also being held by Sampi, so they can just reset. They can rush through. Very nice and easy indeed. PERA recover. 1-0 the scoreline. 4 spy for Sampi. Love this as well. Look, it was only 2 players that survived here on the CT side. You're looking to make ends meet already.
Yeah, I think pretty much any time the T side gets the bomb down in pistol, they're going to force into the follow-up. You get such a decent fight. Look at the amount of Galils they get out. Sit back, try and bleed a bit of this PERA utility as well. So it's pretty even steading. Smoke comes out at a good time. You can see Sampi want to put a bit of pressure in towards mid. Go for the boost instead. You know, getting up on top. So kind of ready to bounce through if there's a kill potential spotted. Maybe that's just going to be the trigger warning. Go straight on in as the HE goes over the top. That's mid control established.
Cool damage being done down by Camion. He was in towards Dark and Connector, and he spammed through the wood on towards middle. A little bit damage softened up on towards Savannah. Rush in towards A, and well, it looks like a rinse repeat of the pistol. This time with much better success. The Famous of DGL can't find anything either. It's all the in-game leader of Sampi. Pushing the issue, leading by example. Suddenly Poya Camion in a really uncomfy situation. 2 players low, but do you really want to give over these M4s?
I don't think you want to be anywhere near the smoke. Poya needs to get out of there. He needs this M4. Sticking around. He's crazy. You better get out of there. Okay. He is going to escape now. There's a little bit of damage on his way out. 3 players are low, but no kills found. At least with 2 M4 saved, you can maybe have a conversation about getting something done to the next round. But now you can see the brutality of that full spy in the second if the Ts do convert it. Completely puts the CTs on the back foot.
And it's got to be said as well, look, we're 2 rounds in, but what have Sampi done in both of them? They've pushed mid, they've contested it, they're now laying down foundations of conditioning. If you're PERA here, you're forced buying into this, of course you are, but do you send a second player in towards middle? Do you have the player that is normally towards cameras, getting up close and personal? Are you going to play things a little bit more laid back? It doesn't matter the outcome in which PERA decide to kind of operate in towards mid, but the basic game plan is we need more investment and more reinforcements over there. If the half develops this way, if Sampi keep applying the pressure here, and that is going to open up space on the exteriors.
So we see the force through. That M4 now sounding off, so they know where it's in play. And I like the idea of keeping the 2 rifles on one site. Ideally, they come to you. Well, M7 actually wants to go to them. Tagged. 1 for 1. CZ gets the kill back, but Joe would love to be able to pick up that rifle. Yeah, keeping both rifles in play on B means if hit comes through, you've got the best defense there, and if A falls, at least you can save them again.
It's actually the fourth option of just not contesting mid, and it was pushing A instead. Notice how now Poya needs to try and deal with this. Savannah tucked in this corner. He's not going to be spotted. And the rest of Sampi, they're going to relocate towards the outskirts of A main. DGL did have the MP9 in a good position, but actually falls back. Wants to crossfire with another MP9 on site in Aaron.
And Poya can come over pretty quickly as well. These MP9s, oh, the timing of DGL falling back. That utility, though, is going to let him know that they're coming on through. Double flames. And in towards the heavens, and CZ strikes straight to the dome of ZEDKO. And DGL wanted to get involved for another, but it's Aaron's MP9 that gets it done. 2 kills for him. Savannah is so removed in towards mid with the flank, and he might just get swung on here by Poya.
Really good work there by DGL. Not only does he get that initial kill out towards A main, make sure that Sampi can't press the issue immediately, takes the first contact. And notice that was off the swing of Aaron. He was jiggling a little bit in towards bricks. The intention was never for him to fire the first bullet. It was so the close range of that CZ/MP9 combo can do the damage. He cleans up the mess that DGL made initially. PERA rebound back in. Another force investment for Sampi. It's constant buy rounds after buy rounds. That is a messy spray out of Camion. But he does tag down tagged.
Oh. Aaron tries to get away with the spam. Normally the M4 comes out ahead in those sort of engagements with the lack of traces, but didn't seem to matter.
It's a pretty good read. Or at least it was initially. 3 players were over towards the B bomb site, and yet again, you got to worry about middle. Poya makes his way over. There's a gap now. Camion's still in towards dark. DGL, limited utility. In fact, there's one flashbang between these 2 players as Sampi look to split B.
Camion has a lot of pressure on his shoulders. 2 players, they line up. Doesn't even have to sweat it. Perfect timing on that little jiggle out just as they're setting up to execute. And Poya finds 2. And that looked like a great split. It looked like everything was set up for Team Sampi to find success, but Dark gets absolutely locked out.
And guess what they didn't have? They didn't have the utility, because again, we're still in this manner of force buy-in. It's the weaponry over an incendiary, over a flashbang. Sampi, they had the numbers there, but the split, it wasn't in unison. And the lineup really just complicates matters. Finally, we see a break in the purchases and a shattering of the economy for this T side. A T side in which they thrived and succeeded under alternate attacks in round 1. And now a T side we see in which they are collapsing and folding right in front of our very eyes. 3 rounds plays 1, an eco for Team Sampi, a flashbang, a P250, and a hopeful bomb plant is all that round 5 presents itself with.
What start you're hoping for? Let me go for this bomb plant. Dark was a bit dangerous when they went there last time, but it does look like that's where they want to pounce in. It locks up close range potential to get something done. Over the AK, a little bit deadlier. Camion gets a few free flash assists on the feed. That one. He's going to fall back. Oh, no he's not. Now he gets the info at least, and he is scampering away, but he can't scamper fast enough. And DGL with the AWP getting overwhelmed. Eventually taken down. These Glocks, they're getting it done. They've found the kills, and they'd love to get their hands on some rifles. The AK is picked up, but the AWP out of their hands. That would have been deadly if they could have got it. Still a good position. Man advantage, P250, AK can certainly get something done. All the CTs, though, swinging at once, and they move as a unit, devastating these Ts in the post plant. An AWP eventually is found, but not for long.
Fair play. Fair play to PERA. Because once again, we said hopeful bomb plant for Sampi. And it wasn't just that, it came with all the bells and the whistles, right? Potential AWP, an M4 that was overwhelmed. in terms of Camion. But look, PERA, they all go from one direction. They smoke out to the right-hand side. They'll create a vacuum for all of these Sampi players just to operate in. And it's Glocks versus M4s. Not just one M4, 3 M4s. All just laying down lead. A fantastic retake. Not allowing an opportunity for Sampi to get one of these kills in isolation. And now a push. DG out. With Poya. But it's the Alive. Spotting a helmet. But not finding a kill. That's upsetting. That's troublesome. In fact, he catches a nade. DG out. Will simply just fall back. But the damage has already been done.
It could have been worse, though. Alive manages to get away, keeps him at bay, doesn't allow that push to get any further information, any further ground. No flank can be enabled, although that AWP wants to get enabled. Jumping across the mid window. Now they have split the map pretty effectively. 3 players over towards B. If they wanted to split onto A, it would be very lightly defended. Just these 2 players here. Everyone else is hard committed into the B side itself.
It's interesting how open PERA are just leaving this. Fino leading with this AWP. Should find Aaron if he posts on this corner, being very diligent right now and scoping in with this AWP already. The smoke might give a clearer indication to Aaron that they're going to be here. Nade. Trying to disguise presence. But it will be Savannah that finds MSN. And in the meantime, you've got the A main push that also gets neutralized. Sampi have found everything. The A split, as you mentioned, it was there right for the taking, and Sampi has snatched it away from PERA and DGL. Might not even survive with this AWP in his hand. Look at all of the dots. Just crescendoing onto his position. This is so uncomfortable for this AWP of PERA. Tucked in, hiding and cowering in towards dark. And the Alive doesn't even need to fight him. Just his presence alone is making him scared, and now the reinforcements are here. Saving onto this AWP would be vital, would be necessary, and I don't think it's going to happen, especially with Tag jumping into the water.
Yeah, I know exactly where he is. And there it is, that drop into the water. Tag decided to collect. Not just a great mid-rounding from Team Sampi. I really like the way they played that. They got that mid-control. You know, dealing with that push out from B, the fact that no one went down, the fact that the Alive was able just to sit there, get the information on 2 pushing, keeps them at bay, doesn't allow them to establish that control, forces them back in. Yeah, he doesn't find the kill, but he stays alive, keeps them at bay, and they find that space in towards mid. They can cut the map in 2, and they perfectly execute onto A, finding each of those kills. Really well done.
Yeah, the A players can't really push until they see the contact from mid in the first place. And you feel like you can't really work in towards mid because then you're not protecting A. It's a bit of a difficult complex of a round for PERA. And the spy isn't the prettiest either. A scout of 5'7" trickled in amongst these M4s. At least there's utility. And speaking of, Sampi starts to try and establish this control in towards mid. Savannah getting very aggressive. Highest performer in the first best of 1 of the day. Looking for even more success, but this time it's DGL. In fact, he might want a second, but no, there's that trade from Savannah.
Really cool off angle from DGL there, on top of that kind of box on the corner. Completely catches Fino off guard. Now it looks like you've got 1 player in the extremities of A. There's potential, perhaps, for Tag to find something. ZEDKO being very loud about this. Smoke comes on through. It looks like he's trying to sell the idea just to enable this A player to get some presence, and Tag has done so. Oh, if he'd found 2, that was an open bomb site. Almost a second, and that might be enough to send Team Sampi in that direction.
It should be. You feel like Sampi would have wanted to go A, and well, it looks like they will, but this time through middle. Difference is that Aaron can post. He doesn't need to fight this. He didn't need to have that engagement, but he's buying valuable seconds, and suddenly he's got a partner in crime. But it will have to be a retake here for the CT side. As Sampi get the bomb down, they punch in the digits. It's a 3-on-3. And the Alive's got the AWP.
Flashbang passed over to Aaron. Poya with the HP. He's the one being sent in to find the kills. While this scout hunts, gets the tag onto ZEDKO. The scout not quite so threatening. Poya's the one that needs to get it done. And he's looking for the fights, but ZEDKO's headshot comes through. And Aaron, with such little HP, no kit either, he's now a little bit concerned about the position he's found himself in, but maybe can do some damage, a kill at least, and can't deny the AWP. It will be picked up, and that bomb won't go off, so it will be saved on over. Team Sampi, this T side's starting to get rolling.
Yeah, good after plant as well from Sampi, because you've got limited information about A main, you've just come in from cameras, but you're still sticking together as a unit. Everyone takes the space in towards CT. You create a little safe haven at the top of the bomb site. You can then peek off each other. You can also set up in a way that you're always having a 2-on-1 unfair gunfight. And PERA, as they split in, they get completely churned up by the AWP and the AK combo. It's completely diminished their money as well. That nade, nearly, could have been deadly. Instead, it just grazes lightly Aaron and Poya. But this should be the equalizer. This should be Sampi reinventing themselves here in this first half. And now the pressure, it flips the other way. Now for PERA, a team we've already spoken about in the pre-show, a team that has a fantastic record on this CT side. Well, suddenly, it's being tested, and this mid-round in is now a completely new challenge for MSN to face.
And it looks like Sampi are going to avoid this stack. Again, putting the presence in towards mid. They've been getting this pretty consistently. Nothing being spotted on B as they come through dark. So you can call this one a fourth already. I wonder if these pistols will just try running at someone, or whether they're just going to hang out in their little Estrella stuck in the corner. No, they are going to disperse. Would love to find themselves an AK. Maybe two, if they can. See what's allowed. Towards mid, the likely target, but maybe not. Maybe. Okay, they get one.
Also got to be careful not to die to these players on the cross, but also the bomb. Remember, no armor on these players, and Aaron's on 10 HP. Has now been hounded down by this T side. Should be dead to tagged in a couple of seconds. In fact, he runs away.
That feels called off.
Yeah, I like it. Just preserving your money, it doesn't matter. Look, 1 AK, it's not the end of the world. We've kept 4 players alive. We're now bankrolling the rest of our half and setting it up for success. DGL can't afford an AWP, which is quite a big deal. That means Fino is still uncontested here. And the answer for PERA towards the mid endeavours of Sampi have been to leave it open, largely. And I feel like that's got to change.
Yeah, that's where Sampi have been abusing consistently. I'd be surprised to see that change this round. But there are going to be 2 players for CT starting here. So Utility to potentially get aggressive. DGL dodging the HE. Aaron, oh, that timing could not have been worse. Oh, his head is in his hands. If he'd just gone for that little swing that it looked like he was thinking of doing, would have been his. Instead, though, DGL gets to step up for one, but needed a multi. Maybe Poya can get something done. Good damage, but can't find those 2 kills. And MSN in the site, being pounced on from every single angle, and tagged takes him down. A round that came down to some very fine margins, but Sampi, they come out ahead.
But now you've got to take a step back, and now you've got to take a look at just the way that Sampi are operating in towards middle. It isn't the same every single time. It is a variation. Normally you lead with these utilities, the Molotov that lands on towards the double doors, the nades that have been layered in from Sampi early on. This time wasn't there whatsoever. It was a solitary nade. Trying to disguise, there's only one player here. We're just putting a little bit of presence here. We're not actually going to commit in towards mid, but no, it's followed up by a full contact play. That's why Aaron is caught so off guard. He's not ready, because the conditioning from Sampi has always been to lead with this utility. It's changed. And yet again, PERA, their design of these rounds needs to change. We've seen them get aggressive towards A. We've seen them get aggressive towards B in only a handful of these rounds. Maybe dark tends to be the answer. Maybe just getting up close to these smokes could pose a threat. You now start to limit test with this Deagle Bar. You're running out of rounds in this first half, and you want to keep things contestable.
Yeah, I wonder what the call was that had Aaron just immediately change track on what he was doing in mid. He was about to swing, like he was getting ready to peek in towards, and then suddenly he just turns and 180's out of there. It's a bit unlucky. That is the way Counter-Strike rolls. Sampi will be feeling pretty good. I'm still a little bit concerned about the CT side that got ahead of them, so I feel like they do need to have a pretty strong T side. I'm looking at 7. Of how they've been going, pretty poised to get it.
Yeah, they've been very good, and I feel like it's the mid rounding that has been the X factor in getting one over on PERA. It's been a complete guessing game as to where Sampi will end, and when they're ready, they're all on the same page. They're ready to go at a moment's notice. It's just been the lack of utility sometimes that's hindered some of these rounds for them. Thinking back to that Camion split and the lineup. In fact, he's just getting aggressive. He wants to take liberties with this great nade set. ZEDKO brought down low, the spam. Not really connected on towards fino, and as you show presence in towards dark, Camion now moves in towards A main. There is a player holding. That will be the alive, and he nearly finds 2.
Yeah, he's ready for this aggression. They've already shown that they're no strangers to pushing through, and now lurk smoke. He's going through. Meanwhile, the split through dark, and they're just getting absolutely crunched upon. Tagged, gets 3 on that little spray as he comes on through. That's going to be 6 for Sampi. Not really sweating against that rifle and pistols.
Yeah, I've been impressed. It's just the cohesion of this team side. It's the fact that I was mentioning it a little bit before, but when we're saying like everyone is on the same page, what we really mean by that is everyone is responding to what is going on the server in real time, because you can rehearse so much in scrims, you can figure out and feel how you're playing, but when you're in the moment, if you're not responding to the slight microseconds and information that's going on, if you're not attuned with your in-game leader at that specific moment, then that's where mistakes are going to creep in. This trade space has been fantastic. The coordination of the splits for the majority has been really impressing me out of Sampi, and yet again, look at this variation. fino has gone through the smoke in towards middle, dropped in towards the water, an unknown off angle now in towards dark, leading with this. Oh, he's going through another smoke, and he finds Camion. That's one way to find an opening kill.
That's sick. What a shot. Just as the smoke is blooming in his face, and fino gets another and another. He cannot be stopped. Those pigs came straight after each other, and he's still able to collect both. What a round. Doubles his kills in it. So much impact. PERA and Aaron, they're doubling up on B. I think with this positioning that fino is taking continuously solo. They're going back towards A, and oh, that's 4. Might even find himself an ace. Aaron is on his way. What a round. See if he can get it. Aaron walking on through, looking for him, and might just catch the timing. No, fino finds all 5.
What a round. 21 years of age. fino, coming out of the Sinners Academy, has now gone to domestic rivals in Sampi and thriving under the conditions. And that's just a showcase, yet again, of the variations of plays that Sampi have been going for. That's the most aggressive, and that's a really extreme example of what Sampi have been doing, but the change of pace. PERA, finally you've got your guns, finally you've got all your utility. One thing you're not accounting for is the hyper-aggressive tendencies of fino. And now immediately he's just withdrawn into a much passive line. He's expecting a reaction to come in, and maybe it comes through middle here. PERA doubling up and ready to push dark as well.
Oh, nice blow on that smoke. PERA gets the kill onto fino. Danger man removed. Ooh, looks like we might have something dangerous in towards mid. DGL gets both of them. The trade does come through that smoke as the alive finds him. ZEDKO looking like he might walk through a smoke. That reload. Perfect timing to walk on through. Camion, no way you're expecting a play to be on this corner. Will he walk in? ZEDKO's hoping that he might give it up. Look at its positioning.
Yeah.
Just push through main. Straight into the trap. The Alive now has to show what AWPing prowess he has. But a player in Glyph, a player in main, and one coming through dark. There's nowhere to go as PERA find their 5th at the tail end of the half.
(7-5) here as Team Sampi show us that they've got a very formidable T side, but it's the defense that pose questions against alternate attacks. But hopefully with this momentum, if you're a Sampi fan, maybe they can get it over the line. But you never ever want to count PERA out of a best of one, especially in a game like this.
Yeah, and particularly on Anubis. And we can see Poya's getting ready to set up utility for B. It's a little bit of a ruse, but a ruse that Sampi might not fall for. Actually, it's not a ruse because going through dark. I was rused. I fell for it. But Sampi weren't there anyway. Tagged, playing passive, is going to let them in. It's going to be a fast flank through the canals.
Oh, okay. The contact's already found. And now if you're PERA, you understand, okay, well, Dark potentially compromised. We can set ourselves up. Flashbang doesn't really affect them. Crossfire also not effective. ZEDKO and Fino immediately find kills. MSN between a rock and a hard place. And instead gets a USP tap to the face. This is going swimmingly for Sampi. Poya and Aaron looking to do the damage. Molly goes forward, but the bomb, it's already being defused. And it's secured by Sampi. What a retake.
Yeah, Molotov didn't even go onto the bomb. It was just thrown forward in a panic, I think, when that swing came on through. I mean, I love the idea from PERA. Everything was great in terms of the way they executed it. I actually really like that pistol round, right? The double smokes in for the execute. You're expecting the burst through main, but it's dropped through dark. They get all the space. They get the post plant, everything they want. They've got the Molotov, but what a fantastic retake from Sampi. Just coming through as a pack from dark. 4 of them bursting on in there, finding all of the kills. The kit was in play as well, but it wasn't even needed, so another ace up the sleeve for them. PERA, at least with the bite, do get 5 rifles out.
And they're hoping for a mistake or an aggression. Has come through B main. ZEDKO now stuck. Has to use a smoke to get out of there. Spam does a little bit of damage. And the nade blown open by Sampi shows DGL that no one is facing him in towards dark. And mid control's also been gathered. So PERA are spreading their routes. They've got quite a decent amount of map control. They've only got to be worried about A main.
Which at the moment, not a lot going on over there currently. Going on a bit of investigatory mission, and Aaron wins that one out, but the straight back through the wall. Oh my god. DGL though, doubling up with MSN. Gets both the kills. This force buy looking good. DGL with the triple. This MP9 is so far removed from the action. They just won out their fights.
Yeah, very clean as well. DGL is one of these AWPers that can be extremely proficient on a rifle as well. Gives us a little bit of a showcase on it. And to be honest, all game long, not really seen him on the sniper. Where it was back and forth initially, then it was a Sampi dominating run towards the middle portion of that first half. Didn't really see him on the sniper. They felt like he'd be better placed on that rifle. Maybe with this T side, especially with the long-range engagements, we start to get a little bit of a showcase of what the sniper can provide for PERA. An immediate response to the force by a success. Now one that needs to come out in kind on the side of Team Sampi. Pistols, a scout. It doesn't feel great.
And if you lose this, you're reset. So PERA can very quickly equalize on this T side if they can convert this round. Poya finding the opener. That's just onto the B side, just taking an aim duel and winning it out. For Sampi, they only had 1 player over there, so you can see they're feeling the pressure a little bit. They've got to scramble the rotation over. PERA's got them flustered. Fino, he spotted 1.
I'll tell you what, I feel like that's going to be a large indication of what this T side is going to offer, because we've seen Sampi just be incredibly aggressive. I'll come back to my point in just a second, because we are committed in towards A, and the flashbang from Savannah is perfect. The Alive falls down, and so too does Fino. Savannah on the scout nearly lines up the headshot. Could have been a Kalat. Another chance for it. Will finally fall. As DGL lays waste to him, ZEDKO 1 versus 2. Hey, guess what? This is winnable. AK not quite scavenged, but limited HP that DGL is working with. The bomb not yet crossed over, but information gathered from this T side. ZEDKO lurking and looming towards the top end of the stairs. DGL also laid to rest nearly with the swing. Camion falls, he gets the reload off, but ZEDKO also finds the AK. A swing and a miss. Both these players feeling the pressure. No kit, but that's not an issue right now. Camion waiting, leading. ZEDKO swinging and still not finding. P250, flashbang goes high, and Camion just about does it. But that is as close as you can get on that force buy for Sampi.
Oh my god, ZEDKO almost pulling off the 1 versus 3. That one came down to the wire. You can see how much he wanted to get his hands on that AK, but when he does, can't quite find the kill. That round could have been devastating. Instead, PERA are able to pick it up, and Sampi are now completely on the back foot. Just the PT-50 for ZEDKO, and yeah, well, we'll see what he can do with it, but not expecting a great deal into this round. PERA in a position to equalize.
Gonna steal the mic off you for a second, go back to the point that I was trying to set up before we had all that chaos, and that is the way that Sampi have been playing. It's been very organized, very regimented. They're gonna do everything with purpose. And that means they're going to lead a lot of contact plays with multiple members, or they're going to lead by the front with utility. The way that PERA counter this, in my opinion, the best, is getting their individuals online and going for these lurk plays and just letting them flex their muscles when it comes to the mechanics. PERA is going to do a fantastic job of this. DGL as well, now he's got the AWP. Those are the two players that I look towards, and I think if there's anyone that can undo this defense, it's going to be those guys, and that is where the majority of the impact is going to come through. Smoke
Look at this
poured in
flash.
towards mid. All right.
Tag setting one up. It's coming over the top, and there it is. How cool is that? I could see him in CT spawn. I was like, Brandon, I don't want to interrupt your point, but this is about to be sick. 3 players in towards mid. Caught out by the trap. And that's the bomb. Given on over. A flashbang and a PT-50 brought into this round. And they might have won it with it. Coming up now to the corner. And that's another one falling. DGL sent backwards, sent scrambling. With 20 seconds, this one is done.
Wow.
Sampi, $500, and they win the round.
Yeah, and yet again, we're talking about it, right? It's the fact that they are doing everything with a purpose. Every piece of utility they buy, it is done with meticulous design. They wait for the contact. Sure, we can lose a player, but that smoke that PERA threw in towards the mid doors actually gave them an opening, allowed them to get wider and just tuck in behind it. That means when the flashbang comes out, you're not rushing through this choke point. You can fan out all through middle, and suddenly, instead of a narrow corridor, you've got a wide expanse. But the flashbang really orchestrates everything. Timeout being called for PERA now, the second of 3 available. And now as the clock ticks down, the pressure starts to mount, because remember, folks, best of 1, first to 13, a couple of AKs sprinkled in with Deagles. We thought this was going to be the Sampi buy. It's not. Instead, it's PERA's.
Wow. That's so cool. What are PERA going to do here? Aaron has really come out worse for wear with the setup. MSN, I suppose, as well. Those hero rifles dropped on over. Leaves them with the pistols, so Poya and Kamiya need to get something done. The Deagle can certainly find something with these sort of fights given on over. Long range towards Stark.
If they go away, there is a world in which the defense falls. Look, only a couple of players, but it's timing, double dark push, but it's Tag that collects the kills, and there is ZEDKO. The reinforcement, and it comes in at the perfect time. No utility to dissuade them, no utility to announce their arrival either. The continuous variation out of Sampi. It's catching PERA with their pants down more often than not. And this time Fino wants to get involved. A third player just being recycled into the same position. Now the players on A fall back. They establish this crossfire. 35 seconds. A Deagle and AK trying to crack their way through. And they have to go through a smoke.
Never fun. Call this attempt. Savannah makes it so with a nice little double. 2 headshots for him. Sampi keep it flawless against the force from PERA. You gotta remember, that was 2 hero rifles that were dropped in. They invested into that with the intention of disrupting, setting these 2 players onto Sampi, but they just couldn't get anything done. That pushing towards Dark, swing into Canal, just fighting them raw. And now this is looking like it should be 11. I mean, we saw some pistols get something done earlier, but there's not even a flashbang for PERA.
What a difference a round makes. A flashbang with USPs has now completely turned the tides of this game. The utility.
Oh, man.
See you later. Shut the door on your way out. And fino, who's not had enough, he wants even more of the action. Poya, best he can do is grab a P250 and then gets a flash straight in the face. Sampi like a well-oiled machine.
That's an artillery strike into towards B main. That's a cool way of throwing those HEs. Because, you know, there are timings that you throw HEs on towards B main if you're expecting maybe a bit of a rush to come on through. But either way, they bounced them so they went around the corner. Very cool, but not a cool situation for PERA, who have been struggling to get this T side going. 5 rifles and a tiny little piece of utility for each of them. And look at this aggression tagged. He's going fast, but MSN goes faster, gets the opening in towards A main.
Look at DGL as well, he's holding. Just in case they push, he swings against the info. There is a player that has aggressed pretty far down. You see that tagged is holding middle. And fino, his sole job is to completely convince PERA that tagged is not here. Because if you go through mid, you're going to die. If you walk close in towards dark, there's a potential for tag to strike as well. Instead, it's going to be the B main commitment. The issue with this, if you're PERA, is whilst you've got the man advantage, you're all coming from one direction.
fino has a lot to do here. Although with the smoke fading, you might have an opportunity to get an opening kill, and if you can put it into a 4-on-4, stay alive. There's a real world. Smoke comes on down, they don't peek ahead of it. fino is looking for an angle that he can find a kill. That was the opportunity, but it was being held. Poya is diligent. Your life does have the incendiary. Oh, but the smoke, it spread a little bit too far. The flames get nothing done. And tag falls as well. The Alive still wants to fight. Oh, that flashbang is brilliant. If he'd found the third, it would have equalized it, but he couldn't quite get it done. Poya finds that kill instead, and ZEDKO, they know where that flash came from. 1 versus 3 required, gets the dink, but no kill found.
Yeah, well done by PERA. Because they don't commit until the smokes are down. No one goes early. No one gives the AWP the satisfaction to strip the numbers away. And as soon as they take the site through B main, they then completely cordon off the bomb site. Not only with just their utility, but a double push in towards dark. You get rid of tagged that was pushed incredibly aggressively at the start of the round. And then you can just establish yourself into crossfires with relative ease. Good flashbangs though, and that has been the feature piece of Team Sampi. Down but not out are PERA. Full AKs, now more utility. And a nade lands at DGL's feet.
A lot of pressure though being applied by the T side over towards B. Not letting the CTs feel comfortable, and it's caused a rotation to come on over. It does feel like PERA want to go here. They've got the bomb in towards dark. ZEDKO's about to flash through tag. They might be able to find this bomb. Isolated, but the dodge from the flash. Aaron able to 180 around. The trade comes on through, but DGL was there. Picks up the bomb. Spotted out. Flames at his feet. Still wanting to force it into B. And Sampi, they're bringing a third player over now. PERA's hit has been so clear they want to go B. And they are not budging.
I like this though. ZEDKO is still just taking this contact. Savannah, oh, completely walks around the corner nonchalantly, and that opens the gateways for PERA just to pour out on the site again. This time it's not just through B main, it's a split. They're kind of running out of time here. And DGL's dropped the bomb. fino has pushed A main, and he's got the bomb. The bomb is in dark.
No information, and they decide it's back to A we go. And the all push, oh, the timing. A missed shot, but time an issue. fino, he needs to find this kill, and he might just be able to do it. Cammying with 10 seconds has to go into B and plant the bomb, and there's still a player here. Didn't pick it up, there's no time. It's gonna be 12 for Sampi. And Cammying might not even survive. He might go down after time. No, he's able to stay alive. Just about. But it's 12 for Sampi.
How does that happen?
Why did they leave?
I was praising them. They took the site. They split through. They got it. They wasted so much utility out of Sampi. Savannah overextended. You got a second kill on the bomb site. There was one player there that you just trade out. And no, instead you make the grave mistake of trying to retreat. And the flank that you were holding the entire time, you take your eyes off it for 1 second too long. And that's where Fino strikes. That's where he becomes involved and wins the round single-handedly for Sampi. And gives them a chance to close. Look at this. It's the best opportunity they're going to have. A Mac 10, Tech 9s. This is rubbish.
Even if both players are there, you've got more numbers. It's crazy to me that you decide to go back to A. Now they're going to split onto A. And they've got good positioning to do so. 2 in mid, they throw the smoke out that they're faking this pincer. PERA adding a lot of layers to this cake, and I feel like it might be getting a bit too much to fit in their mouth.
As a risk, it can be overcooked. Another smoke in the same position. Now in towards middle. The issue is that you've not rotated anyone. You've not shown any presence. It's just solely been with the grenades. So you're still going into a setup that's got 2 players. You got tags set up in anti-flash. And speaking of flashes, they are being lined up now for PERA. They're going to surge them into this bomb site over the top. The Alive drops the molly. And he gets the kill. There's the counter flash. The tagged and the Alive are laying waste to PERA. And this could be the final stand of 4 versus 2. Into the guillotine they go. Camion next up to the chopping block. Poya, he's good, but he needs to be even more spectacular. There's the first. Would need the ace. Would need the full house with 15 seconds left. And the bomb is in no man's land. This one might be done, and this one should be done. 10 seconds creeping round the corner. As soon as one player takes contact, the second is going to swing, and not even needed. Team Sampi, they've beaten PERA 13-8.
You know, if you found that kill and tag, there was a small opportunity. Could have planted the bomb, but yeah, that one just felt a little bit interesting from PERA when the side switch. It just felt like they really just made a